Now, breaking news from WRAL. Coverage you can count on.
And that breaking news is a live image that we show you right here as teams are dredging a creek in Nash County. The case they are investigating happened more than 20 years ago. We are live with that story. Plus, smoky skies as we are showing you a view from Sky 5 explaining the smoke in the skies in Wake County this morning. We'll get you details in our WRAL Live Center in just a moment.
And tracking our next rainmaker, it's going to arrive on Thursday. I'll show you the timing hour by hour for our next round of rain coming up.
Thanks so much for joining us at this noon hour. I'm Chris Levingood. Renee Chu has the afternoon off. It's a chilly day out there. Started really cold, in fact, but milder temperatures and a round of rain return by Thursday. Meteorologist Amy Wilmoth is tracking that hour by hour and our next weather maker.
Very quiet weather for today. It is chilly. Temperatures will stay in the 40s, but high pressure over us keeps the weather nice and quiet. The next thing to watch is still in the western part of our country. This is the next weather maker that's going to impact us starting Thursday. It's going to bring us the potential for scattered showers, perhaps even widespread rain the second half of the day Thursday. Ahead of it, we'll have this southerly flow, and it's going to be milder, especially tomorrow. While today we're in the 40s, tomorrow high temperatures will climb into the 50s thanks to that southerly breeze. And tomorrow's quiet. We don't have any rain in the forecast. We'll just see an increase in the cloud cover. So dry today, dry tomorrow. But here comes our next weather maker by the time we get to Thursday. A 40% chance for some rain in the afternoon, and then an 80% chance by the time we get to Thursday night. And the good news is it's out of here by the time we get to late Friday morning and continuing through the weekend. We should stay dry through the weekend. But Thursday, hour by hour, I think the morning commute is going to be dry. We have a very small chance for a sprinkle or two. But notice how these rain chances start to go up. At lunchtime, about a 30% chance for rain. By the time we get to the evening commute, about a 40 to 50% chance for rain. So scattered showers will return, and this is rain that we need. We're still in a moderate drought across almost the entire part of our viewing area, below normal rainfall so far for the month. And so this is definitely rain that we could use. So get the umbrellas ready for Thursday. In the meantime, enjoy today.
Welcome back to the WRAL Live Center. We got new news here at noon for you regarding the Lumbee tribe and their official recognition. I want to go ahead and show you here. We're hearing this just in the past half hour that the Senate vote for national defense spending is expected to happen this afternoon. The Lumbee tribe recognition is included in the final form of that bill should it pass. It would go to President Trump's desk for a signature. Now, the Lumbee tribe has been advocating for national recognition for many decades now. There has been some pushback from other Native American tribes. One of the key points with this is that, according to the bill, the Lumbee tribe of North Carolina and its members would be eligible for all services and benefits provided by the federal government to federally recognized Indian tribes. So something to keep in mind there. Now, as this is happening, the Lumbee tribe is actually hosting a watch party at the Pembroke Boys and Girls Club. WRAL has a crew on its way there, and we will have coverage for that coming up later tonight on WRAL.
And of course, we'll have updates on WRAL.com as well. Thank you, Lewis. With Affordable Care Act subsidies set to happen in the new year, some lawmakers want to compromise. A bipartisan group in the House will meet today to try to force a floor vote on their plan. It would extend the subsidies, but with stricter income caps and new fraud prevention measures. In the Senate, a bipartisan group wants to extend the subsidies with reforms. They're working to announce their plan before the holiday recess starts at the end of the week. Unemployment rose to a four-year high of 4.6% last month. The economy added 64,000 jobs. That's according to new data from the Bureau of Labor Statistics. Last month's job total comes after a 105,000 job loss back in October. For the first time in nearly 80 years, no unemployment rate was released for October, and that was because of a lack of data collection during the government shutdown. Economists say the data points to a weakening labor market. Plus, the unemployment rate is slowly going up. On Thursday, the final consumer price index report for the year is set to be released. It helps measure inflation because it looks at how much that we pay for goods and services. Jen Sullivan looks at what's making things more expensive for us.
From groceries to natural gas and electric bills, costs are rising and consumers are feeling the crunch, according to the latest Consumer Price Index report.
People are still frustrated because we saw prices rise quite quickly coming out of the pandemic. They're never going back down.
Because of inflation, the most recent data shows American households are spending $208 more a month to purchase the same goods and services as they were a year ago, and over $1,043 more a month than they did at the start of 2021, according to data from Moody's Analytics.
We hear loud and clear how people are experiencing really costs.
Last week, the Federal Reserve lowered interest rates by 1/4 percentage point, which will make it cheaper to borrow money for things like credit cards and car loans. One of the reasons they lowered rates was because they say inflation is cooling.
If you get away from tariffs, inflation is in the low twos, right? So it's really tariffs that's causing most of the inflation overshoot.
Powell says inflation due to tariffs will likely be short-lived, but experts say that doesn't mean costs will come down.
Inflation, it might slow down, but we're still going to have higher prices.
Many experts say the best way for consumers to feel better about the economy is for wages to increase.
That was Jen Sullivan with that story. Organizers of the LA Olympic Games promise there will be affordable tickets to the events. LA 28, the group behind the game, says at least 1 million tickets will start at $28 apiece. There will be $28 tickets in every sport. About a third of the tickets will go for under $100. Fans can register for tickets starting January 14th, and they will be entered into a random draw later in the year. Meanwhile, the pricing announcement actually comes during a time when soaring ticket prices for next year's FIFA World Cup are being criticized. Global soccer governing body FIFA launched its third phase of ticket sales last week. The cheapest seat at the final will cost more than $4,000. FIFA says any revenue it generates will be reinvested to fuel the growth of football. All right, don't worry. Won't charge you at all for this weather forecast with meteorologist Amy Wilmoth right now. Looking like, so outside it looks pretty nice and calm out there. It feels still pretty cold, but things are going to warm up soon.
That's right. We have our southerly flow that's developed this afternoon, so we're warmer right now compared to this time yesterday, and we'll keep that warm up going really for most of the work week. We'll be back in the 60s by Thursday. A live look at downtown Raleigh. It's very quiet. High pressure is over us, which keeps the weather nice and quiet. It is still chilly. We're in the 40s right now, 43 in Garner. It's 43 in Holly Springs, 45 in Roxborough, 44 in Cary, and in Rocky Mount. So when you look at the temperatures right now compared to this time yesterday, anywhere from about 14 to close to 20 degrees warmer right now. And that's all because we have that switch in our wind direction. We're now seeing that southerly flow. It's a very light breeze, but it doesn't take much with that wind shift to really increase your temperatures. So definitely still chilly, but about 10 degrees warmer today compared to yesterday when it's all said and done this afternoon. Upper 40s for highs in Raleigh and Durham, around 50 for the high temperature in Fayetteville, which is still below normal, about 5 to 10 degrees below normal for this time of year. This evening will be cool. We'll be in the 40s through about 6 o'clock, and then we're back down into the 30s at 7 o'clock, mid 30s by 9 o'clock. So it is going to be another cold night tonight, just not as cold as the past couple of mornings. So we're seeing these numbers creep up as well. Low temperatures tonight down into the mid to upper 20s across the entire viewing area. 29 for the low in Raleigh and 28 for the low in Durham, 28 for the low in Fayetteville. The kids will still need to wear the coats in the morning to school. We'll be in the low to mid 30s depending on what time your kids catch the bus in the morning. So they'll probably want the coats in the morning, but they won't need it in the afternoon. 55 for the bus ride home tomorrow. So it'll be milder tomorrow afternoon with that southerly flow continuing. And then our next weather maker is this cold front that's going to arrive Thursday. The best chance for rain looks to be Thursday evening and Thursday night. Behind the front on Friday, it is going to be a bit breezy, but there's no Arctic air with this particular front. So we're not going to see that big drop in temperatures like we saw over the weekend with that Arctic front. It'll be a little bit cooler as we head through the day Friday. Temperatures will drop through the day, but it is not an Arctic air mass that will invade the area for the end of the week. Let's time out the rain. So the morning commute Thursday looks dry. This is 5:15 in the evening. That's when our rain chances will start to pick up. So the evening commute Thursday could be a bit slow if we start to see some widespread rain. And this will continue after sunset. This is 11:30 at night Thursday evening. Scattered showers are likely. I don't expect severe weather, but I wouldn't rule out an isolated rumble of thunder. I think most of this is just going to be rain, maybe an isolated rumble of thunder, and that'd be it. Friday morning for the commute, maybe some lingering light showers, but it's not going to be a big deal, and it'll be out of here by the time we get to about 10 o'clock in the morning. And then we're dry for the rest of the day Friday, and we're dry through the weekend. As I mentioned at the beginning of the newscast, we're in a drought right now, so this is rain we could use. We could see anywhere from about a quarter of an inch to maybe half an inch in the area that you see shaded in blue, but most of us up to about a quarter of an inch possible with this next round of rain Thursday into early Friday. So still chilly today, but look at those milder temperatures for the remainder of the work week, and overall the weekend looking mild and dry as well.
If I never see a 14 degree again for a while, Amy, I wouldn't be mad about it. Thank you. Coming up in our noon news this afternoon, renovation runaround. Wake County Schools could move a school originally slated to be restored. Tonight at 5:30, the challenges the school presents and the feedback from concerned parents. Plus, package poached. Porch Pirates are ready to capitalize on one of the busiest times of year for shipping, which is why tonight at 6, we're going to show you a new video showing a thief in action, plus what people should do if their delivery is stolen. Holiday baking. 5 on Your Side has some of the top tested kitchen helpers as you get your holiday meals ready. Plus, shifting gears, Ford announces its new roadmap for EVs, what it means for a popular offering and for jobs in the company. Well, the holiday baking season, it is in full swing. I make cookies. They're pretty decent. But before you plug in that mixer or preheat the toaster oven, Consumer Reports reveals its list of top tested kitchen helpers that make baking easier, faster, and a lot more fun. Here's 5 on Your Side's Ashley Rowe.
Each year, Consumer Reports examines hundreds of baking and cooking appliances. Let's start with stand mixers. This wearing commercial mixer comes out on top, but costs more than $800. For a more budget-friendly version, consider this option from Hamilton Beach. For less intense mixing and whipping, it's a good hand mixer that gets the job done.
So hand mixers are ideal for whipping cream and egg whites and making cake batter and preparing sauces and gravies. Plus, if you're on a budget or you're short on space, they're less expensive and they're smaller.
CR handed the top spot to this Breville for its impressive whipping and mixing. For under $100, this KitchenAid hand mixer is also a great option. For an appliance that helps you prep and bake, a food processor is a must. For just under $200, this top-scoring Cuisinart Pro can chop, slice, shred, puree, and even mix certain types of dough. For small batch baking or when you need extra space, CR says don't forget about a toaster oven.
Consider the convection setting if there is one for the most evenly baked results. Also use the lowest rack to prevent burning.
A few more toaster oven baking tips from CR. Consider adjusting the baking temperature by about 25 degrees as toaster ovens tend to heat up and cook faster. Aluminum, cast iron, or non-stick are all great options for toaster oven bakeware. Just be sure it fits in your oven before you start baking. Ashley Rowe, 5 on Your Side.
Just a heads up, it will cost you a little less to drive home for the holidays this year. Gas Buddy expects the national average for gas to be about $2.79 a gallon for regular. That's down from $3 a gallon last year and the lowest price on Christmas since 2020. We're already at $2.71 a gallon here in North Carolina, so those prices could go even lower. Hey, just a reminder, the WRAL News app, it can help you find the cheapest gas wherever you go. Search for Fuel Tracker and plug in your zip code to find gas deals anywhere. Ford is scaling back its plans for electric vehicles. The automaker is ending production of all of its electric F-150s. Ford is also ending a joint venture with a South Korean company to produce EV batteries in the U.S. The company forecasts a loss of more than $19 billion from the moves. However, it says hiring will increase as it shifts focus into gas and hybrid models. President Donald Trump is calling on car companies to make smaller cars. The president said small cars will bring down the price of a new vehicle. Experts say Americans don't want smaller cars. According to Cox Automotive, in fact, compact sales dropped nearly 60% in the last decade. Subcompacts are down 90%. President Trump made the post after meeting with automakers, I should say, last month. A series of car break-ins. Coming up, how the community can help Durham police in their investigation after more than a dozen vehicles were damaged overnight. Plus, new leads this noon. The FBI just released new photos and videos connected to the deadly Brown University shooting as the hunt for the shooter enters a fourth day. We do have a look at your winning NCAA education lottery numbers right here on your screen.
Shot in 4K ultra high definition. Your number one source for local news. WRAL News. Coverage you can count on.
New at noon, You can help police in Durham investigating a series of car break-ins this morning. Officers are looking for any video footage of what happened as more than a dozen vehicles were damaged overnight. Ali Kavdabar shows us the damage she found in several neighborhoods.
We counted at least 18 vehicles broken into within a 1 mile radius of where I'm standing right now. This is NC 55 and Sedgwick Road. This is video from the WRAL breaking news tracker showing some of the vehicles that we saw. You can see at least one window shattered in each of them. Durham police tell us the break-in started around 8 last night in the southern part of Durham. Others were reported after midnight in East and South Durham. Police told us 3 of the locations they responded to, so we drove around those areas. We found at least 12 vehicles broken into at Bentley Ridge Apartments, at least 5 in a townhome neighborhood on or around Purdue Drive, and at least 1 on Piperwood Court. We're working to find out how many vehicles were broken into in total, as well as if anybody has been arrested. Reporting in Durham, Ali Kavdabar, WRAL News.
Meanwhile, Raleigh police are looking for the driver of a truck that crashed into trees and caught fire. That happened on Wade Avenue near I-40 and Trenton Road. Investigators say the truck drove off the road and then crashed into trees before catching fire. The driver of the truck was not with the vehicle when officers arrived around 12:30 this morning. Raleigh firefighters put out the fire, and WRAL News is working to find out if the driver has been found, if they are facing any charges, and if they're injured. New images of the suspect accused of opening fire at Brown University, killing 2 students and injuring 9 others. The FBI released them today as the manhunt enters day 4. Aaron McLaughlin has the latest developments in that investigation.
Following the release of a person of interest that the Attorney General tells me they have detained and released, ruling him completely out of the investigation. Yesterday, we saw this renewed investigative push here in Providence, Rhode Island. FBI combing through bins, sifting through bushes, searching the perimeter of the university for any clues. Police going door to door on local businesses and homes, asking for any Ring camera footage. And by the end of the day, authorities had released several surveillance videos showing what they say is a person of interest 2 hours prior to the attack in the area. Notably, though, his face concealed. The Attorney General tells me that right now they do not have any clear image of the suspect's face, a compounding factor in this ongoing investigation. The FBI has announced a $50,000 reward for any information leading to an arrest. We're also getting new information about the weapon used. According to police, a 9mm handgun was used to carry out the attack. Brown University has put out an appeal for anyone who was in the building behind me where the attack took place to come forward for interview. They're asking anyone who was in that building either Friday or Saturday. Meanwhile, this is a community in mourning, honoring lives lost, including 19-year-old Ella Cook from Alabama, as well as freshman Mohammad Aziz Umerzakov from Uzbekistan. His sister telling NBC News, quote, "We don't want him to end up being a number. We want everyone to see his face. We want everyone to know his name." Back to you.
I'm Luis Fernandez in the WRAL Live Center. We have the latest information on the killings of Rob Reiner and Michelle Singer Reiner. Los Angeles police are set to present a case to prosecutors Tuesday following Nick Reiner's arrest in the killings of his parents. Prosecutors are set to decide whether and how to charge 32-year-old Nick Reiner, who's being held in jail without bond. Now, remember, he was arrested several hours after his parents were found dead in their home in Brentwood. In a statement yesterday, Los Angeles police said that Nick Reiner is, quote, responsible for the deaths of his parents. We'll have more as that comes out. Remember, it is 9:30 a.m. over in Los Angeles right now.
Yeah, a lot more information likely to come from that. Thank you, Lewis. It was the hire no one saw coming. Bill Belichick going to UNC. In coaching Carolina the Belichick way, our WRAL documentary team uncovered the parallel searches happening at that time. There was a powerful group pushing to hire the NFL legend and those who wanted an up-and-coming coach.
The Board of Trustees is working to land Bill Belichick, while Bubba Cunningham is doing due diligence on these lots of current coaches.
You know, if this were a business, if this is a Fortune 500 company, you would never run it this way. You would never have people doing like a back channel search to hire the CEO.
The documentary gets into the drama on and off the field and what next season may bring. Coaching Carolina the Belichick Way airs Thursday night at 7:30 p.m. on WRAL. Happening tonight in Cary, the town of Cary will be marking the third night of Hanukkah. There will be a menorah lighting ceremony at downtown Cary Park. There will also be activities for kids, sweet treats, and holiday music. That'll be from 5:30 to 6:30 tonight. Step away from the AI. Why doctors discourage you from using artificial intelligence for a diagnosis and where they say it fits instead. Plus, filling the talent gap. The move to get younger tech workers employed in the federal government. Our team is working to bring you exclusive stories. For coverage you will only find on WRAL, visit WRAL.com and search the word only. The Trump administration is launching a program to modernize the government's tech abilities. The U.S. Tech Force, as it's going to be called, will be a 2-year pilot program. The administration will start with hiring 1,000 software engineers, data scientists, project managers, and AI experts, and the move also aims to fill an early career talent gap across the government. AI is finding its place in the private sector, too. A new Gallup survey shows 45% of employees are using AI on the job. 23% said they do so frequently, and that's up 4% in the last 3 months. Gallup says employees in knowledge-based jobs are most likely to be using AI. Actually, most people are also using AI to self-diagnose illness, and doctors are a bit concerned about that. Many medical professionals say using AI as a health diagnostic tool can do more harm than good. They say it increases anxiety and can lead patients to fixate on conditions they don't actually have.
We've seen an increase in the amount of people that are using, any of the AI services for health advice, which is, I think, better probably than old school Google My Symptoms, but I still think probably not the best choice.
Doctors say AI does have a place in healthcare, though, and could be a great education tool after receiving a diagnosis. Some professionals also say it can help people determine if they should go to primary care, urgent care, or the ER based on symptoms that they're having. New evidence finds alcohol significantly increases a person's risk of developing a wide range of cancers. Researchers also found drinking worsened a person's odds of surviving cancer. Data from 62 studies showed that higher alcohol intake increased cancer risk, especially for breast, colon, liver, mouth, throat, and GI cancers. Not all drinks, though, are equal. For example, white wine and beer were linked to a higher risk of certain cancers, while liquor often was not. Ready for its close-up. Next at noon, we'll show you what it takes to prepare Raleigh's Acorn for its big moment at first night. And let the giving begin. Why today is a big day in the Christmas season for some families right here in the Triangle.
You're watching WRAL News. The time is 12:43. Welcome into the Live Center. I'm Luis Fernandez. New in the past hour in the college football world, Indiana head coach Curt Cignetti has been named the AP Coach of the Year. He is the first head coach to win this award in back-to-back years. They started giving this out in 1998. Just to show you how much of a landslide this was, by the way, look at that. Won it. 102 overall points. As you'll remember, Indiana is the number 1 overall seed in the college football playoff. They are also the team of the Heisman Trophy winner, Fernando Mendoza. He won it earlier this weekend. And just so you don't forget, the college football playoff will begin coming up later this week. Indiana is the number 1 overall seed. They'll have to play in the Rose Bowl on January 1st. But coming up on Friday and Saturday, you'll have Alabama playing Oklahoma and Oregon playing James Madison, plus Ole Miss and Tulane and Texas A&M and Miami. We are not done with college football.
No, and I can tell you're excited to talk more about it, Lewis. Well, as we're counting down a Christmas cruise here in Raleigh, they're already gearing up for the new year. In true City of Oaks fashion, WRAL's Laura Levine shows us how teams are sprucing up the iconic Acorn for its night in the spotlight.
As we are counting down to Christmas, crews here in Raleigh are already preparing for the new year in true City of Oaks fashion. This morning, the iconic Raleigh acorn was removed from its current home in City Plaza. It was taken to artist David Bitson's studio for a New Year's Eve polish. This acorn has become a staple of the Triangle's favorite New Year's Eve tradition as hundreds of people gather here to count down the new year. This is all in preparation for WRAL First Night Raleigh 2026, which is right around the corner. It's set to feature tons of fantastic entertainment to ring in the new year here in downtown. Organizers with Artsplosure say that this year is special.
We try to make it a combination of traditions that you can count on every year and then things we've never done before. And this year is no different. As I mentioned, we're going to have a huge silent disco in the middle of the street. It's going to be like ABBA out there. And we'll also have things that people know and love.
And this iconic tradition that happens here in downtown will take place on Wednesday, December 31st at 7 p.m. and at midnight when the acorn drops. Laura Levine, WRAL News in Raleigh.
You hear all this, you go, oh man, I can't go downtown. I'm going to miss it. Nah, you're going to be fine. You can capture it all here. We'll have live coverage of WRAL First Night Raleigh throughout the day on New Year's Eve. It'll be a good time. Happening today, the Salvation Army will be giving out thousands of gifts to families in need this holiday season. This is part of the organization's Angel Tree program. The goal is to ensure 8,000 kids locally have gifts to open on Christmas morning.
I think that there are a lot of different situations for the people that we see. And I just know, all I know is that parents want to make sure that they, try their best to provide food and pay bills that they need to pay before they get Christmas gifts.
The Salvation Army of Wake County says it has received a record number of angels this year, and the distribution will last through Thursday. That will be at the Angel Tree Warehouse on Buck Jones Road in Cary from 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. Now, if you miss the change to help the Angel Tree family, I should say, you can still give this season. WRAL's annual Coats for the Children campaign is underway. Now through December 31st, we need your help to gather as many coats, hats, and gloves as possible. To find Jiffy Lube drop-off locations or to make a monetary donation, scan that QR code right there on your screen. You can also go to WRAL.com/coats. And I tell you what, Amy, today was a day, if you walked outside and you're like, oh man, it's super cold outside, that should be your reminder of why people need the hats and the coats and the gloves.
Absolutely. The last couple of mornings have been very cold, even some numbers down into the single digits. And temperatures are going to get a little bit milder as we progress through the week, but we haven't even started winter officially. That doesn't happen until Sunday. But nice weather out there today. Look at that blue sky over RDU right now. Not a cloud in the sky right now. It's gorgeous. It'll stay very nice through the day today, although chilly. It's 44 degrees right now in Raleigh. We jumped up to 49 in South Hill, Virginia, 48 in Clinton. It's 45 right now in Southern Pines, but these numbers, they're about 10 to 15 degrees warmer compared to this time yesterday. So definitely some milder air out there. If you're headed out to do some shopping today, you'll probably want the jacket this afternoon, maybe the coat. Temperatures in the upper 40s for highs. And then this evening after work, you'll most certainly want the coat with temperatures back down into the mid 30s around 8 o'clock tonight. So it is going to be another cold night tonight, mostly clear skies. Temperatures will dip down into the upper 20s. So a cold start again tomorrow. Rainfall over the last year. So this is looking at every single month for the last year. We're below normal, almost 4 inches below normal for the year. We had a couple of spikes, one in May, another one in July and August. And then look at where we've been the last few months. We've had very little rain. And so far this month, we're about 1/3 of an inch below normal. We definitely need the rain, and it's coming. Not today, not tomorrow, but by the time we get to Thursday. A 40% chance for rain during the daytime hours. By the time we get to the evening commute, that bumps up to about a 50 to 60% chance. And then Thursday night, it's an 80% chance for rain. Friday and Saturday are looking dry. Same thing on Sunday. Friday behind the front, so we'll start to dry it out, and it becomes a little bit windy. We'll have some gusts 20 to 25 miles per hour through the day on Friday. So just keep that in mind. You might want to make sure you secure all of those outdoor decorations. Morning lows. So we have one more morning low that's going to be pretty cold, and then the temperatures moderate a little bit. It's cold again Saturday morning, but really we don't have any teens or single digits in the forecast, so that's some good news. We're making some progress with our lows. Same thing for our highs. Today, a high of 49, tomorrow 56, so we're above normal starting tomorrow. A pair of 60s for Thursday and Friday. Just keep in mind this number will likely happen in the morning. Temperatures drop through the day, but it won't be that dramatic drop drop that we had over the weekend. Temperatures will likely be in the low 50s in the afternoon, and then 56 for the high temperature on Saturday. 9 days away from Christmas. It is almost here. It's going to be here before we know it. It's looking like above normal temperatures, though. Every year we start talking about, are we going to have a white Christmas? It really does not look like that. It's going to be above normal temperatures and below normal precipitation. So white Christmas just is not in the cards for us this year. We'll keep you posted if anything changes. I don't think it will. Starting today at 4 o'clock on WRAL, Kat Campbell will have Christmas Eve in the 7-day forecast. So stay tuned for that. Quiet weather today and tomorrow, and then we get some rain Thursday. It moves out Friday, and then we have quiet weather again for the weekend.
All right, thank you for that, Amy. Emergency chocolate. Do you have that spare stash? That event that prompts people to pack a little extra sweet treat. We'll talk about that in just a bit. Plus, we do have a look at your winning Powerball numbers, but don't get too excited. No big winners from the jackpot drawing. So tomorrow's drawing will be worth at least $1.25 billion. As we wrap things up, here's a look at a few of the headlines that we're following today. A Person County woman is charged in the death of a 1-year-old child in her care. Letitia Lindsay